Today on Fox Saturday Baseball, it's an interleague bonanza. We're in sunny SoCal for the Freeway Series. The Angels head up the interstate to take on the red-hot Matt Kemp and the crosstown rival Dodgers. Out by the Bay, the defending champs host baseball's biggest surprise. That's right, the first-place Cleveland Indians. While in the Lone Star State, reigning AL MVP Josh Hamilton and the high-octane Rangers offense take on hot-hitting Jose Reyes and the Mets. And don't quit on us now. Despite this week's drama, the Nationals are still baseball's hottest team. Today, they head to the South Side to kick it with Ozzie and the White Sox. 4 great games coming your way right now on Fox.
Welcome to the Sprint pregame show on Fox. Sprint, all together now. We are in Los Angeles for the Freeway Series. It hasn't exactly been a picture-perfect season for those in Dodger blue, but the annual Picture Day brings a smile to fans' faces even when their favorite team is 9 games under 500. And with that, hi, everybody. We welcome you to another live edition of Fox Saturday Baseball, this time coming to you from Chavez Ravine in sunny Southern California. In just a few minutes, we'll get you out to one of 4 great interleague matchups. Some of you will stay here in L.A. for the battle between the Angels and the Dodgers. Others are off to the Lone Star State to see if the Rangers can slow down Jose Reyes, who leads the National League in hitting, and the New York Mets. Of course, the Rangers are paced by Adrian Beltre. He is tied for 3rd in the AL with 55 RBI. Others will see the best young shortstop in the AL as Drupal Cabrera lead the first-place Tribe in a battle against Kung Fu Panda and the defending World Series champion Giants. And the rest are off to the south side of Chicago, where Ozzie, of course, got tossed earlier this week against the Cubs. Nats interim skipper John McLaren, he got the heave-ho last night during Washington's 14-inning win. Now, McLaren, of course, took over for Jim Riggleman, who abruptly resigned on Thursday after the team refused to discuss his future managerial situation. And there was a report out there that McLaren would lead the Nats the rest of the weekend in Chicago until 68-year-old Davey Johnson was ready to take over the reins. However, that has not officially happened yet. Now, Johnson, of course, is best known for leading the '86 Mets to the World Series championship. He also had stints with Cincinnati, Baltimore, and his last stop was here in L.A. with the Dodgers in 2000. Well, moments ago, our Josh Lewin spoke to Nats GM Mike Rizzo, who clarified the managerial situation.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. All signs continue to point to it being Davey Johnson as the next manager of the Washington Nationals. It's been a whirlwind few hours, certainly, for general manager Mike Rizzo, a Chicago guy who's back here doing a bunch of brush fire putting out. The latest is Davey Johnson's agent is Alan Nero. Alan Nero is in Japan right now. It is 5 a.m. in Tokyo. Mike Rizzo doesn't want to do this deal with a bleary-eyed Mr. Agent guy. He's going to wait until he wakes up. They're going to hammer out a deal, get that done. They're very confident about that, but it's going to take a little while. So the thoughts of a Davey Johnson announcement, not going to be happening today, it doesn't look like, but it sure does look like it is going to happen within the next 24 hours or so. Any other information that we get, anything else that pops, we'll definitely keep you posted, Chris.
All right, Josh, thank you very much. So once again, McLaren will lead the Nats until Davey Johnson's ready to take over. This is what happened last night when he got ejected in the 8th inning. According to our Ken Rosenthal, McLaren will likely resign once Johnson takes over the team, perhaps as early as Monday in Anaheim against the Los Angeles Angels. One early game in the big leagues, the Yankees and the Rockies, in New York with a win could pull even with the Red Sox atop the American League East. And this one was all about CC Sabathia, who got plenty of support early on from A-Rod. A bases-clearing double, that made it 4-0. But Sabathia, going after his Major League leading 10th win, 9 strikeouts in 8 solid innings, gave up just 1 run, and the Yankees lead this one 8-3 in the 9th. We'll keep you updated with scores and highlights, but coming up next, it's time to get you out to your interleague matchup. Some of you stay out here in sunny Southern California as the Angels and Dodgers go at it. Others are off to the Lone Star State as the Mets tango with the Rangers. The world champs welcome the first-place Tribe to town. The rest of you get the Nats and the White Sox from the south side. Out to your game next on Fox.
Today, it's the Angels against the Dodgers here at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. And welcome, everybody. I'm Dick Stockton, and just 2 short years ago, both of these teams were in the League Championship Series, but right now they are both scrapping, and that's particularly the Dodgers. And this is the 15th year of the Freeway Series here, and as we bring in Eric Karros, the Dodgers are really taking it on the chin against the Angels here at Dodger Stadium, where they have dropped now 5 in a row.
They just haven't played well at home, and they're in a homestand right now, 12 games. They're 3-7 right now. They've got to turn things around. Don Mattingly hopes to get the club to 500 by the All-Star break. It could be a tall task. On the other side, the Angels, they haven't played their best baseball, but Mike Scioscia thinks better things are ahead. And look, they're only 3 games out. How the middle of this lineup fares the rest of the way will determine the Angels' fate.
All right, and the star of stars in the city of stars is none other than Matt Kemp. And what a season he is having, driving his way, hopefully, to his first All-Star berth. Matt Kemp having a marvelous first half. The Dodgers take on the Angels in the Freeway Series. We'll be right back with that. Game time here at Dodger Stadium, and hardly a breeze. And right now, here's today's starting lineup for the Angels, brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Eric Ibar will lead off at shortstop. Howie Kendrick will be at second base. Bobby Abreu will bat third in right field, and Vernon Wells will be in left. Albert Callaspo will be at third baseman. Mark Trumbo at first. Hank Conger will be behind the plate. Peter Borges at center field, and Tyler Chatwood batting ninth. The pitcher for the Angels. And the Dodgers take the field. And Hiroki Kuroda on the mound today. And pitched 7 shutout innings in his last start on Sunday. Did not get a decision. He has lost his last 5 decisions, Eric. Hasn't won for over a month.
No, it really hasn't been because of his pitching, though. He's throwing the ball well. He's got the great movement on the forkball, the fastball. Says it right there. Help me. Get him some run support. Since May 11th, an average of 1.6 runs a game. He's got to keep the ball in the ballpark. This Angel Ball Club, Dick, 43 road home runs compared to 14 at home.
And they played much better on the road. And, of course, the 5 straight won here. Let's take a look at the Dodgers defense, brought to you by Scott's. Trent Olton gets the start in left field. Matt Kemp and Andre Ethier out there. Aaron Miles, Dee Gordon, Jamie Carroll, and James Loney are the infielders. A.J. Ellis behind the plate catching Hiroki Kuroda. So Kuroda coming in with a 5-8 record. And the Angels and the Dodgers last night, a weird game, won by the Angels 8-3, despite the fact that they had 6 outs on the base paths. And a weird game. Normally you give up those opportunities. It comes back to haunt you. Not so. Mike Scioscia, and of course always excited about coming back, along with Mickey Hatcher and Alfredo Griffin. Both were on the '88 World Champion Dodger teams. And Don Mattingly in his first year as manager of the Dodgers. So we're set to go. Eric Ibar will be the leadoff hitter for the Angels, and the opening pitch brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some Bud. And the Angels with a chance to get to 500 if they can solve Hiroki Kuroda today. They are 38-39. They have won 2 in a row, 4 out of the last 5, and come in third place in the AL West, 3 behind Texas and a half a game behind Seattle. A very tight race, as Eric Karros pointed out. Very tight race in that division. So here's Ibar hitting .287 with 4 homers, 30 runs batted in. Switch hitter batting left-handed, and the first pitch over for a strike. Ibar with a 2-run homer in the 5th inning last night, went 3 for 4, and the big 3-1 run 5th turned the tide for the Angels. And the count 0-2. Kuroda coming off a career best 11 victories last season. Ahead on the count, and a pop-up wide of third and out of play. And here is the home run last night. Game was tied 2-2, and Ibar with the home run off Ruby De La Rosa, giving the Angels a 4-2 lead, eventually winning 8-3.
Yeah, that was a 3-2 pitch. Gets the fastball. He's sitting on it, and you know, he's one of those type of guys that you don't expect any power from, but every once in a while he jumps on you, and that was a big shot last night.
And time called at the plate. Both these teams have had problems scoring runs. And both have had some solid starting pitching this year. Kuroda's 0-2 pitch fouled out of play.
Well, when you talk about scoring runs, they've had their opportunities. Where they get in trouble, they just haven't been able to hit with runners in scoring position. I mean, the Dodgers futile last night. The Angels scoring their runs, you know, a couple of home runs. Dodger errors.
Again, the 0-2 pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Ibar, who'll be followed by Howie Kendrick and Bobby Abreu. Kuroda has not won since May the 17th, when he beat the Brewers 3-0. Comes back 1-2, and a good at-bat for Ibar to start the game for the Angels.
Well, it really is. He's up there. He's making Kuroda throw a lot of pitches. What he's also doing, he's allowing his teammates to watch Kuroda, to see the movement on his assortment of pitches. Again, there are such things as productive outs, and this may turn out to be one of them.
Kendrick on deck, and he's having a good season at the plate. Missing outside, just barely, on an 84-mile-an-hour pitch, and the count now even at 2-2. Angels and Dodgers. This is the 15th year of this freeway rivalry, and these teams will play next weekend down in Anaheim. Ground ball, big hop to Loney, who will make the play unassisted for the first out of the game. So this history, in its 15th year, the Angels have won 13 games more than the Dodgers. And in fact, the Angels have been outstanding in interleague play all the way around.
Well, they really have, and I think one of the reasons why they do well in National League ballparks when they're on the road is because Mike Scioscia plays a National League style of game. Very aggressive, will force the issue, will run, not afraid to sacrifice.
Howie Kendrick batting .304, and he takes ball one. Kendrick with a home run on Friday night, his 8th of the year, just 2 shy of his career high of 10. Good off-speed breaking ball, and the count 1-1.
Well, Kendrick's been their most consistent hitter all year, most productive hitter. Hasn't run into any real funk. The problem is they haven't been getting the contributions from Vernon Wells. Torrey Hunter's been dinged up. Well, Kendrick has really been the one constant in this Angel lineup.
Was Kendry Morales out for the season with ankle surgery, and he was certainly one they were counting on. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, at the very least, they hope to get Kendry Morales back at some point, but as we found out about a month ago, he's done for the year.
Fastball fouled off to the right. So Kendrick, like Ibar, hit a home run last night. This was in the 6th inning. Solo home run off of De La Rosa, and that made it 5-3. So the home run hitters for a team that is 10th in the American League in home runs came from the first 2 hitters in the lineup today. And Kuroda misses. That one 91 miles an hour, and a 3-2 count on Kendrick with Bobby Abreu on deck. And he gets Kendrick with a strikeout for out number 2.
Well, Kuroda has a lot of movement on his pitches. You watch this thing just dart out of the zone. It's low to begin with and then just goes almost into the dirt. Great location on that pitch for Kuroda.
So with 2 down, that'll bring up Bobby Abreu hitting .289 with 3 homers and 32 runs batted in. Abreu, normally the DH for the Angels, and of course you can't use the DH in the National League Park, so he's playing right field. This will be the 6th start in that position for him today, and Mike Scioscia's had to do a lot of juggling with his outfielders, especially with Torrey Hunter on the shelf.
Well, he's had to do juggling, with guys on the shelf, but also he's trying to get some offense going.
In the air to center field, Matt Kemp coming over, and now the left fielder Urchin makes the catch. Well hit to the opposite field by Bobby Abreu, but a 1-2-3 inning for Kuroda. The Angels don't score, and the Dodgers are coming up. by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. D. Gordon leading off. Jamie Carroll will hit second. Andre Ethier batting third, and Matt Kemp at cleanup. James Loney in the number 5 slot. Aaron Miles batting 6th. Trent Olchin hitting 7th. A.J. Ellis batting number 8 and hitting 9th. Hiroki Kuroda, the pitcher. And Tyler Chatwood, impressive youngster. Chatwood, 21-year-old right-hander from Redlands, 4-4 on the year, making his 15th start.
Good movement on the fastball. Also look for a sharp curveball. He's got to make him hit it. He's got 42 walks to 43 strikeouts. It's 4th in the American League. Stay away from Matt Kemp. One guy in the Dodgers lineup you will not let beat you, Matt Kemp.
And more, that's the feeling. And, Ethier is in front of Kemp in the lineup, and so that's a key position for the Dodgers today. But Kemp is the guy, and last night Matt Kemp hit a 2-run homer in the first inning to start the Dodgers off, although they ended up losing. So here's D. Gordon, and has been very impressive since coming up, batting .246 with 2 runs batted in, and showing bunt on the first couple of pitchers, and Kai Aspo alert at third base for that. And again showing bunt and taking a strike on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. The count 2-2. Gordon now has started 15 of the last 17 at shortstop, making his 15th start of the year. He'll be followed by Jamie Carroll and Andre Ethier. And a call strike 3, and Gordon questions Chris Conroy, the home plate umpire, on that one, but Gordon goes down looking for out number 1. Taking a look at the defense. Brought to you by Scotts, Wells, Burgess, and Abreu in the outfield. Tyaspo, Ibar, Kendrick, and Trumbo in the infield. Conger behind the plate catching Tyler Chatwood, and that'll bring up Jamie Carroll. And how solid has Carroll been, and what an unexpected bonus that has been for the Dodgers, hitting .299.
Well, Carroll has been solid, and he's played a lot of different positions, filled in a lot of different roles. Unfortunately, he's probably played a lot more than manager Don Mattingly and general manager Ned Coletti had hoped.
And a bounding ball backhanded by Trumbo, and he pitches to Chatwood for the out. So Carroll is retired. 2 down in the Dodger first inning, and that'll bring to the plate Andre Ethier. Chatwood 2-0 in 2 starts in interleague, and he can't do much better than that. He's beaten Atlanta on May the 22nd, plus his victory over the Mets last Sunday when he pitched 7 shutout innings against a hot team, giving up only 4 hits. But here's Ethier hitting .319, 4th in the league in hitting, with 7 homers and 37 runs driven in. Infield playing straight away and deep against Ethier. First pitch in for a strike.
Well, Ethier having a solid year. Remember, he had that early 30-game hitting streak. He hasn't hit for the power that I think the Dodgers had hoped, at least not yet.
And that's bounded to second base, and Kendrick will make the play. And so the Dodgers, like the Angels, go in order. We've completed 1 here at Dodger Stadium. Sprint is sponsored by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Angels batting in the second inning against Hiroki Kuroda, and Vernon Wells will lead off. Wells hitting .203, has 7 homers and 20 runs batted in. Played center field last night in the series opener and installed in left field today. High fly ball. Ochin over to his right. And there's one away. Time now for today's Ford Keys to the Game.
Heading next, third base.
Well, the Angels had some base running mishaps last night, but their game is to be aggressive, to force the issue. They have to continue that today. The Dodgers need the top 2 in the lineup to get on base. They've got to set the table for Ethier, Kemp, and Loney. The top 2 don't get on, you don't have to pitch to the middle.
Alberto Callaspo hitting .280. The switch hitter has 3 homers and 20 runs driven in. And he takes ball 1 from Kuroda. Out to left field, Ochin again over there, moving to his right, makes the catch for his second out. Well, Torrey Hunter has been out of the lineup, and for an update on his injury, let's check in with Chris Rose.
Yeah, Dick, I just talked to the 9-time Gold Glove outfielder. He's out because a few days ago he ran into the wall down in Florida, so he bruised his ribs. He's walking around pretty gingerly. He expects to get back into baseball activities and swing a bat tomorrow. Be back in the lineup perhaps as early as Monday against Washington. Now, as he was lying on the ground and writhing in pain, his good friend Vernon Wells came over and said, "Torrey, get up, man. You're looking old." Well, Torrey just told me, he said, "Listen, I might be 35. That would have hurt as much as when I was 23. Dick and EK?
Maybe 35. He has 39 runs batted in, and the Angels, Chris, could certainly use that kind of production in the lineup. So there's 2 away, and Mark Trumbo, the hitter. It'll only be another day or so, and the Angels will get a very important bat and a great outfielder back in their lineup. One hopper to D. Gordon. And a 1-2-3 inning for Hiroki Kuroda. And Matt Kemp will be the leadoff hitter for the Dodgers when L.A. comes up. That's the blue L.A. in the second. Today's game, presented by Sprint, is sponsored by Select 55. The superior taste makes it Select. The 55 calories makes it the lightest beer in the world. And not wielding a light bat, but a heavy bat has been Matt Kemp, leading the Dodgers. And right amongst the league leaders in so many categories, hitting a 2-run homer last night in the first. Now the home run leader in the National League with 21 takes a fastball up and in, ball one. Kemp is hitting .331 with 21 homers now and 60 runs batted in. He's second in batting and third in runs batted in. So he's in the top three in all three of the Triple Crown categories. He'll be followed by James Loney and Aaron Miles. Inside pitch, fouled away. It's 2-1. So there's where Matt Kemp leads in the various categories. And he's also tied for sixth in bases on balls and leads in intentional walks. On the corner for the strike.
You know, I think as we progress to the second half of this season, it'll be interesting to see how opponents go after Matt Kemp. The reality is there aren't a lot of other offensive threats in this lineup. And if guys don't pick it up, he's not going to see anything to hit.
And an identical pitch and an identical result. Foul off to the right. This was the home run in the first inning off of Dan Herron. 2-run homer to give the Dodgers a 2-0 lead. It was his 21st and his first home run since June the 12th. So that ended a drought for Matt Kemp. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Leading off the Dodgers second, reaches out and hits a bounding ball to Kendrick. And Kemp is retired for the first out in the second. James Loney will be stepping up now.
Number 7, James Loney.
Last night, Ethier, Kemp, and Loney had a big night despite the loss. 7 for 12, but only 2 runs batted in. And that's what Don Mattingly is looking for, more runs.
Well, more runs, but you know, you talk about those 3 having a nice night. The problem, the top 2 were combined 0 for 10. You've got to get some guys on for these men.
James Loney hitting .277, 1-0 to him. 4 homers and 27 runs batted in for Loney. And 27 runs batted in at this point. Well, he had 90, and 88 in the last 3 years in that category at the halfway mark. And missing outside is Chatwood in the count 2-0.
Well, the thing about it, James Loney struggled mightily the first 3-4 weeks of this season. So it's going to take him all year to dig himself out of that hole. But I think Don Mattingly, speaking to him before the game, he's happy with where James Loney is right now. He's been swinging the bat at over a 300 clip since the end of April.
Meanwhile, Chatwood falls behind 3-0 to Loney with 1 out and Aaron Miles on deck. And gets that pitch over for a strike. Eric mentioned the penchant for giving bases on balls. 42 strikeouts, 43 walks on the year. Foul out of play. And now the count is full to James Loney. Dodgers come in 9 games under 500 and also 9 games out of the lead, which matches their biggest deficit of the season. Arizona Diamondbacks right now have the lead in the NL West, and that's been a tight fight all year. 3 balls, 2 strikes to James Loney with 1 out in the Dodgers second. And he's called out on strikes. And thought it was a ball, was on his way to first base.
This pitch on the inner half of the plate, framed very nicely. You know, very similar to the pitch that D. Gordon was rung up earlier in the game. And D. Gordon, a left-handed hitter.
So that'll bring up Aaron Miles, switch hitter. Also has seen a lot more action than maybe originally anticipated. The switch hitter batting .305, and he grounds this to Trumbo, who makes the play unassisted. Another 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Chatwood. No score. We'll return to Los Angeles after a word from your local Fox station. Saturday Baseball presented by Sprint. All together now. And leading off will be Hank Conger, Angels catcher, making his 35th start of the year. Hiroki Kuroda, coming off a 5-pitch inning, gets the first one over for a strike. Conger hitting .233 with 3 homers, 13 runs batted in. He is a switch hitter. He and Jeff Mathis virtually even in the number of games they've started behind the plate for the Angels. 1 ball and 1 strike to Conger, who's hitting over 100 points more on the road than at home. And he's ahead of the count, 2-1. Conger will be followed by Peter Borges and the pitcher Tyler Chatwood. Holding up on the outside pitch, and Kuroda falls behind 3-1 to the leadoff hitter. In the air to shallow left field. Coming on in is Olchin, and he calls off D. Gordon, who has to get down in a hurry. And there's one away. Next week on Fox Saturday Baseball, interleague play returns as crosstown rivals go head-to-head. The bragging rights are on the line. Yankees battle the Mets. Next week's telecast of Fox Saturday Baseball begins at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Check your local listings for the game and start time in your area. And Derek Jeter, who is 6 hits away from 3,000, eligible to return to the lineup on Thursday. Here's Peter Borges with 1 out. Shows a bunt and takes a strike with Miles coming in from third and Loney from first. Borges batting .255, has 3 homers and 15 runs batted in. Breaking ball away, 1-1. Waves at that breaking ball, and Kuroda keeping the ball away from Borges is ahead of him now, 1-2.
Well, and that's one of the things that the Angels like to see Borges work on, and that's making more contact. Comes into today with 70 strikeouts, and with his speed, he's got to put the ball in play.
And calls strike 3, so 3 strikeouts, or 2 strikeouts now for Hiroki Kuroda, and there are 2 away in the 3rd inning. The Yankees lost to the Rockies. What about today, Chris Rose?
Well, Dick, CC Sabathia was on point, 9 Ks in 8 innings, picked up his Major League leading 10th win. Mark Teixeira's 22nd of the year, one behind Jose Bautista to lead all of baseball. Yanks win at 8-3 to see every baseball game. Most in HD, it's 1-800-DIRECTV. By the way, guys, tomorrow it's Old Timers Day at Yankee Stadium. Lou Piniella, Bernie Williams, and former Dodger skipper Joe Torre are scheduled to make their first appearances in the game.
That's always been one of the great events for any Yankee season. And Old Timers game, and the first for Joe Torre going back.
It will be fun, and like you said, as a fan, to see some of the names that get back on that field. I mean, what a history.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Tyler Chatwood, and you can't take him for granted. Now, he's 1 for 1 on the year, but he came to the plate 3 times Sunday against the Mets and delivered each time with a single and 2 sacrifice bunts. And there he goes with a base hit to center field. A 2-out single by Tyler Chatwood, and the first hit of the game.
Well, an American League pitcher that doesn't get the hit shows everybody how to hit. Gets that off-speed pitch right down the middle and just trying to shoot it up the middle. Doesn't try to do it, he does it.
Might have been his last hit since he played high school game at Dodger Stadium. We'll show you more of that a little later. Eric Ibar, who bounced to Loney for the first out of the game. 2 out and the first base runner. And almost reached across the plate with that bunt attempt. Taken for ball 1.
I mean, it sounds kind of ridiculous, but it's almost as if you wanted the pitcher to get out. You have Ibar lead off the next inning. You don't have the pitcher out on the bases. He's resting a bit, but He's out there at first base right now, and it's not often that you wish for outs as an offensive side of the ball, but this may have been it.
There's the weather story. Not much of a breeze. Beautiful afternoon. And the lack of humidity, which marks the climate in this area, as you know, Mr. K.
Yeah, it's not a bad day out here, actually. It's really nice. It can get hot out here at Dodger Stadium, especially when you get into June, July. They're fanning themselves.
Yeah.
The little one keeping themselves out of the sun there.
Well, that hat really will take care of it. And a little refreshment. Keep yourself hydrated. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count to Eric Ibar. Angels, the best they've been all year, 5 games over 500, but they've been below 500 since June the 5th, and they can get back to the break-even mark with a win today. Ibar lifts it out to right center field, and this could be trouble, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Chatwood rounds third. He'll score easily. On his way to third, there'll be a play there, and the ball hits the runner, and Ibar will get into third base. The throw, had it been on the mark, would have gotten Ibar, I believe, but the throw hit him, and the Angels take a 1-0 lead, and Ibar winds up on third.
Well, this is when you like the pitcher getting on first base with 2 outs. When the leadoff hitter is going to hit a ball off the wall. You see, this is a throw by Jamie Carroll. If it doesn't hit the runner, he's dead in the water right there. He's standing at third base. Everybody's excited. Oh, he's at third base. But this is another base running mistake that the Angels have done in the last 2 days.
So the Angels have a 1-0 lead, and Ibar is at third base. So you wonder about Tyler Chatwood, who singled, spent some time at first base, and had to run all the way around for the run. Howie Kendrick, the hitter now. And Kendrick takes the first pitch for a ball. He struck out his first time up. So Ibar gets a triple and an RBI. His 31st of the year, and the Angels jump ahead of the Dodgers 1-0. One and one now to Kendrick. It's so rare that you can run yourself into so many outs as the Angels did last night. And you figure, well, those are the opportunities that you're going to talk about after the game, and you end up winning 8-3.
Well, it's one thing about being aggressive. It's another thing, though, when, you know, that aggressiveness is not smart. And that was the case last night. And that was the case right now with Ibar going into third base. Sure, he's standing out at third, and everybody's thinking, oh boy, way to hustle, good job, blah, blah, blah. But over the course of the season, you do that 10 times, you're out 9 times. That's not good.
And last night, Mike Scioscia said it was a case of either being too aggressive or not aggressive enough. And one or the other can result in an embarrassing situation where you're out on the bases. That's way outside. And 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kendrick. And the Angels striking first here today, all with 2 out. And it was Tyler Chatwood, the pitcher, with a single up the middle, and then Eric Ibar with a triple to the right center field wall. So Kuroda trying to dispose of the Angels with the runner at third. Again in the dirt, good stop by Ellis. And the count is full, 3-2.
Well, I think right here with Kuroda, you've got to still nibble. You don't want to just throw that fastball and say, well, I'm not going to walk you. And Kendrick is too good of a hitter. You've got that runner on third.
Bobby Abreu would be the on-deck hitter and reaching out and fouling it out of play. Kendrick stays alive. Look how the pitch by inning story has gone.
Well, the killer was having 2 strikes on the pitcher Chatwood, not being able to put him away. I mean, that's just throwing a big wrench in this inning for the Dodgers, and specifically for Kuroda.
Kuroda again with the 3-2 pitch, and once more Kendrick stays alive. And if Chatwood would continue to hit like this and he were on the Cardinals, Tony La Russa may be batting him in the 8th spot.
There he is.
Trying to get a breath is Chatwood. This is the 8th pitch to Howie Kendrick, and it misses outside, ball 4. And the first walk of the game, runners now at first and third.
Let's see, watch Chatwood. He's running the bases like he knows what he's doing. Cutting the corners, hustling. And you know what's interesting is I found in these interleague games that the pitchers in the American League, when they run the bases, they don't run them well. And it's because they don't practice running the bases. Even that week or two before the interleague games start, what are they doing? They're spending their time in the batting cage. They're bunting. But they're not running the bases.
Bobby Abreu with runners at first and third now and 2 out. Fly to left center field. Olchin handling that fly ball on the warning track in the first inning. So the Angels with a lead and a threat here with a tough batter at the plate for Kuroda. There's a call strike. 0-1 to Abreu. Bobby Abreu feasts in interleague play. And this is all time. Go down the list, and anytime you're in the top 10, you've done well.
Well, just a solid player. I mean, borderline Hall of Fame career with the numbers that he's put up. Not a flashy guy, but on base almost 40% of the time. Steals bases. Draws out at bats. Drives in runs. Just consistent.
You say consistent. He's 6th among active players in stolen bases, but no year over 40. No balls and 2 strikes to Abreu. So Kuroda, who retired the first 8 batters he's faced in this game, let the opposite pitcher get away, and then the roof started to cave in a bit, and he's got a pitch out of it with runners at first and third and 2 out, and the count 0-2 to Abreu. Too long a wait. And such a long wait in a time. Now they want to get on the same page.
Well, remember, A.J. Ellis has just been recently called up, and sure, he's had some stints with the Los Angeles Dodgers. But in this situation, you've got to make sure that both guys are confident, and specifically your pitcher is confident in what he's going to throw. A runner on third, first base, number 3 hitter at the plate. There can't be any doubt.
And for Ellis, making only his 6th start, there always has to be an adjustment, an in-game adjustment in this case. Runners at first and third have their leads. Again, the 0-2 pitch, no, stepping off the rubber. So the cat and mouse game continues here. Kuroda, by the way, has only pitched 1 time previously against the Angels. That was in 2008 at Anaheim. Gave up the 3 runs in 6 innings, plus took the loss. Ibar at third. Kendrick, the runner at first base. And now 1-2 to Abreu. Vernon Wells would be next as Abreu checks with Dino Ebel, the third base coach for the Angels. There's Wells. The 1-2, and the runner from first goes, and the pitch is outside. And Howie Kendrick with his 8th steal of the year. And now the Angels have runners at second and third with 2 away, and the count 2-2.
The good and bad. The good, you've got runners at second and third. A base hit scores 2. The bad, now you get Loney off of the line. He's no longer holding the runner. Bobby Abreu doesn't have that big right side to drive the ball through.
So 2 runners now in scoring position. And this has been a herky-jerky at bat with Kuroda facing Abreu. And it's fouled away. So pitch number 31 here in the 3rd inning by Kuroda is upcoming. And the Angels are making Hiroki Kuroda work here, leading 1-0 here in the top of the 3rd inning. Angels looking for their 3rd win in a row and their 5th in 6 games. And to get even. And Mike Scioscia said we just have to play better, especially offensively. Fly ball to center field, and Matt Kemp makes the catch to retire the side. The Angels get a run, but they leave 2 in scoring position in the middle of the 3rd. It's the Angels 2-1, that is, and the Dodgers nothing. The Dodger order facing Tyler Chatwood here in the 3rd inning. Trent Olchen making his 4th start of the season. And takes ball 1. Olchen hitting .231 with 1 run batted in, was called up on June the 9th. And at Albuquerque had 8 homers and the .339 average. Native of Sydney, Australia, Trent Olchen will be followed by A.J. Ellis and Hiroki Kuroda. Out of play, and it's 1-2, and it's a day, Eric, that a lot of the Dodgers who don't normally get into the lineup have an opportunity.
Well, it's an opportunity. You got the day game followed by the night game. Also earlier today, it was photo day for the fans to come out, take pictures of your favorite Dodger.
They're great with the promotions here. That's the 3rd strikeout. Well, Tyler Chatwood has been here before, and he's played at Dodger Stadium. 2008 CIF Southern Section Division II championship game. It was in May of 2008. Redlands East Valley High against El Toro, and he was the starting pitcher. Worked 5 1/3 innings, had 8 strikeouts, lost the game 7-0. But that was a couple of weeks before the Angels drafted him, and here he is again at Dodger Stadium, and not only on the mound for the Angels from Anaheim, but he got a single and scored the only run of the game. A.J. Ellis takes a called strike, 0-2 to Ellis, and like Olchin, getting an opportunity today, making his 6th start of the year, batting .278 with 3 runs batted in. It's in the dirt.
See Ellis getting the call up when Rod Barajas went on the DL. Sprained ankle. Like I said, Ellis up last year, had a bit of success.
And a comebacker handled nicely by Chatwood, and Ellis is retired for the 2nd out. A direct TV game break coming up, and here's Chris Rhodes.
Yeah, not baseball, but soccer, Dick Stockton. Wednesday night in Houston, it was the CONCACAF Gold Cup semifinal. USA taking on Panama. 77th minute, Freddie Adu to Landon Donovan. He feeds it on over to Clint Dempsey eventually for the goal. USA advances to the championship match against Mexico tonight at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific from the Rose Bowl. You can see it on Fox Soccer. And, Dick, I bet you didn't know you're sitting next to a world-renowned soccer coach up there in the booth.
You know what? I think he's world-renowned in anything he does, and I didn't know he coached soccer, but...
8 and 9-year-olds, Dick. 8 and 9-year-olds.
Well, they got to start sometime.
That's what I'm talking about.
They got to start some kind of EK.
All those guys that are playing in that tournament, they started when they were 8 and 9.
That's right.
That's right.
And it's the early coaching is what paves the way.
You got it.
So our hats off to Eric Karros. 2 balls and no strikes to Hiroki Kuroda. And the count 2-1. By the way, Mexico or the United States have won every year since 1991, except once. That was Canada in 2000. They defeated Colombia 2-0. So that's going to be a great one tonight. The Gold Cup final at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, sold out. Normally they sell out for the Rose Bowl or for Super Bowls when they have those events there. Chatwood's 2-2 pitch and fouled right past Davey Lopes. Hiroki Kuroda coming into the game with 2 hits and 31 at-bats. And is making contact here.
Well, trying to return the favor. Remember last inning, had 2 outs, had 2 strikes on Chatwood, and then what does Chatwood do? Base hit, and Ibar follows with a triple. Run scored.
And a slow hit roller that stays foul. And so Chatwood would have to do it again. Making his 15th start of the year is Tyler Chatwood. And performing better in 6 starts, 6 days between starts, where he's 3-1 and a 2.97 earned run average. And so he's working on 6 days rest today. And trying to get out of the inning with a economy of pitches. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and Kuroda just gets a piece of it. Dodgers have really had their problems against the Angels in this freeway series, having lost 6 of the last 7 here, and 4 straight. Ground ball to shortstop. Ibar makes the play. So 9 pitches this inning for Tyler Chatwood. He has set down the first 9 Dodgers he's faced. 1-0 in favor of the Angels as we go to the 4th. Today's game is sponsored by Ford, Drive One, and by AT&T, Rethink Possible. Dick Stockton along with Eric Karros and Chris Rose here at Dodger Stadium. Angels are in front 1-0, and Tyler Chatwood has retired the first 9 Dodgers he's faced, singled and scored the only run of the game. And here in the 4th inning against Hiroki Kuroda, the Angels will send up Vernon Wells, Alberto Callaspo, and Mark Trumbo. Wells fly to Olchin, the left fielder, his first trip to the plate.
You know, really, for me, this guy's the key for this Angel ball club, especially as they move forward. You know, obviously, not having Kendry Morales on this ball club this year, the power, the presence that the Angels hope to get from him. You know, guys like Vernon Wells, Torrey Hunter, Bobby Abreu, those guys, they're going to be 3, 4, and 5, and how they go will be how the Angels go.
And this team used to have a lot of power bats in their lineup.
You had Vladimir Guerrero. I mean, what a staple here for so many years.
And they were hoping to get something of that from Wells, who's gotten off to the slow start after 12 years with the Blue Jays. Was on the disabled list for about a month, and he lifts a pop-up behind the plate. A.J. Ellis sheds the mask and makes the catch in front of the screen for out number 1. Not easy with the sun. What is the greatest moment in the 77-year history of the MLB All-Star Game? Well, you decide. Join the Midsummer Classics debate by going to MLB.com/moments to fill out your bracket and tune in to Fox Saturday Baseball each week leading up to the 2011 All-Star Game to see which moments advance to the next round.
There's a gentleman right there that ought to be in Arizona. Should be a starter. He's 4th in the voting right now.
And it will be his first appearance in that game.
Yes, it will.
Alberto Callaspo, who flied to left field, taking strike 1. One ball and 1 strike. Here's Loney. He'll make the play unassisted for out number 2. Let's take a look at the leaders in the National League voting. Brian McCann of the Braves. Albert Pujols, who is on the disabled list, is going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. The Reds are represented. Rockies and the Phillies. In fact, a lot of clubs are represented there. You have a Holiday and Polanco. Because Holiday from the Cardinals and Polanco from the Phillies. In the American League, I don't think it's been that well balanced as Trumbo takes a call strike. The Yankees dominated the early balloting, and we'll take a look at who's in front there. 2 down, and the base is clear here in the 4th inning. Angels lead 1-0. Trumbo bounced to short his first time and takes the pitch inside. Well, I see Yankees behind the plate. The former Dodger, Russell Martin, Cano, Jeter, Rodriguez.
Got a few Red Sox there, too.
Drive hit deep to left field, way back and gone. Mark Trumbo, that got out of here in a hurry with his 13th home run of the year. And the Angels take a 2-0 lead. So Mark Trumbo goes deep against Hiroki Kuroda. Their 3rd home run of this series.
Well, it's just a ball that tails down and in. Trumbo just drops the bat head and absolutely crushes this ball. You know, I spoke to Mickey Hatcher, the hitting coach for the Angels, and he said, you know, Trumbo's the type of guy that you want to go out and watch take BP. Because you'll be amazed at some of the balls, how far they travel.
Fouled off the foot of Hank Conger. So Mark Trumbo making a name for himself, and you saw the categories of the rookies in which he leads, including home runs, and he also leads the Angels in that department.
Yeah, you see, he's talking to hitting coach Mickey Hatcher there. He's the one on the right-hand part of your screen with the real dark hair. I think that dark hair has been aided, but Hatch is a great hitting coach.
This is where we would segue into a sponsor that we've had on our broadcast, but.
Do we sponsor shoe polish?
No balls and 2 strikes. And looked like Ellis got crossed up on that one. The count 1-2. And it is apparent by the banter here that Mickey Hatcher and Eric Karros have been close friends and jokesters for many years.
No, we go back. He was my hitting coach actually in Albuquerque. And I'm not kidding you. You know, during his career, he was known as kind of an off-the-wall guy, but he's as good a hitting coach as there is.
Loney to Kuroda, but it was the 2-out home run by Mark Trumbo, a line shot into the left field bleachers. His 13th of the year, and the Angels lead it 2-0, playing the bottom of the 4th. Top of the batting order, D. Gordon leading off for the Dodgers in the 4th inning against Tyler Chatwood. And his bunt in front of the plate. And Chatwood off the mound and is thrown to first in time. Very alert play by Tyler Chatwood. Didn't hesitate at all. And Gordon is retired for the first out.
Batting next, second baseman, number 14, Jamie.
Well, you see Chatwood, he gets off the mound well. Picks it up barehanded. Makes the play. That ball moving a little bit. He's able to scoop his hand underneath. Really probably the only way he was going to get the speedy D. Gordon. He tries to pick that up with the glove and then transfer to his throwing hand. Probably won't get him. Nice play by Chatwood.
So 3 strikeouts, all looking, in 7 groundouts against Chatwood, who's retired the first 10 he's faced. In fact, going back to last night, the last 21 Dodgers have been retired since a walk to Casey Blake in the 6th inning. The last Dodger to get a base hit was James Loney in the 5th inning, so it's been a while. And the call strike 1-1. Jamie Carroll bounced out to the right side. Trumbo to Chatwood. Chatwood, and the pitch is inside. 2 balls and a strike.
One out in the Dodger fourth inning. Tyler Chatwood, 3 strikeouts, 1 in each of the first 3 innings, all looking. And now falling behind 3-1 to Carroll with Andre Ethier on deck. Ball strike evens, makes the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Jamie Carroll. 37 years old, in his 10th season in the big leagues. The Dodgers are the 5th club he's been to. And a base hit to center field ends the drought. 21 Dodgers have been retired in a row, dating back to last night before Carroll single here.
Well, Carroll has a 3-2 count. It's just a fastball up in the zone. He shoots it up the middle. But that's the first time that the Dodgers have had one of their top 2 on base. Last night, 0 for 10. So far today, 0 for 13 combined coming into that at-bat right there. Now you give Ethier and Kemp something to work with.
Ethier grounded to Kendrick at second base his first time up, and he represents the tying run at the plate with the Angels leading 2-0. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, 1-0 the count to Ethier. 4th in the National League, batting .319 coming into the game. Dropped a point with that first out. And that's down low. And Chatwood falls behind Ethier 2-0 with Matt Kemp on deck.
You see Andre Ethier, how good he is against the right-handed pitchers. .355 clip, highest in the National League.
And fouls back the 2-0 pitch. Got the fastball a little up in the zone.
Yeah, and that's the pitch that, as a hitter, you don't want to miss, because Matt Kemp on deck, Chatwood is going to come right after you. You've got to be ready for that, and you can't miss it.
Jamie Carroll with the lead at first base. 2 balls and a strike, and another fastball fouled off to the left. And so after falling behind 2-0, the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now you missed 2 fastballs that were really hittable pitches. Guessing Chatwood probably trying to come back with something off speed.
Ground ball, little English on it. There's 1, there's 2, and the double play. Well handled by Ibar. The ball started to squirt away from him, so Ethier hits it to an inning-ending double play after 4. The Angels are up 2-0. And the Dodgers trailing 2-0, and Peter Borges leading off in the top of the 5th inning for the Angels. He struck out looking his first time up. First pitch popped up to the right side. Jamie Carroll has to handle his son, and he does for out number 1. Well, Fox Sports is proud to support Stand Up to Cancer in their work to fund groundbreaking research that helps accelerate treatment to patients. To learn more, please visit standuptocancer.org/Fox Sports. And you know, I didn't know this, but Eric Karros last year received this Southern California Broadcasters Association Golden Mike for television pre- and post-game. You know, Eric, it's my pleasure to give you this.
Hey, I will say this, though. This is an honor to have it presented from you. No, you know, I'll tell you, the one category you don't want to be in is top broadcaster here in Southern Cal, because you know who wins that every year? Vin Scully.
Who works in this booth.
Oh, my goodness.
Who works in this booth.
An honor to be in here today.
Now, why is it that I think that when Vin wins it, the microphone is a little bit bigger than this? I don't. Can you figure that out?
I think Vin, they just etch his name on it because he wins it every year.
That's right. It's literally in stone. Chatwood rounds to Carroll, and he's retired, and there's 2 away. And now for a DirecTV game break, let's bring in Chris.
All right, Dick, Alexei Gondo started the year 7-0 for the Rangers. He's lost his last 2 decisions and gets tanked here by the Mets. Carlos Beltran ripped one to right. Nelson Cruz will not be trying out for the Dallas Stars anytime soon. He boots it into a triple. It's 6-0 Mets. To see every baseball game the most in HD, it's 1-800-DirecTV. And EK, isn't that a team award? Don't we get to share that golden mic? What's the deal here, pal?
There's no I in team, Chris.
There's not one in Eric either. Oh, there is one. Right?
There is.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Good try.
Now, what you should have done is made about 30 of those and to give it to the crew and to, you know, all.
Well, I just travel around with one. I just like to bring it with me everywhere.
And it's small.
I go hang out in the mall and just set it up next to me and stand there.
And you know, it's small enough you can put it in your bag. Show it to everyone on the plane, you know. Eric Ibar, who tripled home the first Angels run. 1 for 2 now with 31 runs batted in on the year. 2 outs, nobody on base, and the Angels leading 2-0. Hiroki Kuroda has given up 2 runs on 3 hits, and a foul into the Angels dugout.
Right over my head, actually. That was right over. Yes, we're good. I mean, I heard something break. Hold on. Phone's good. Head. That's frightening.
Chris, you have to protect yourself even if you put that microphone up there to deflect the ball, don't you think?
I hid behind one of the trainers, actually.
Good idea.
Thank you.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Ibar. 2-out single by pitcher Tyler Chatwood, followed by Ibar's triple that went to the right center field wall. And a sharply hit ground ball to the right of Jamie Carroll. And a 1-2-3 inning for Kuroda. So we have completed 4.5 innings here at Dodger Stadium. The Angels in front 2-0. Sprint. All together now. Angels leading the Dodgers 2-0, and Matt Kemp will start it off in the 5th inning. He grounded to Kendrick at second base, up and in. Moves Kemp out of the box. Ball 1.
Yeah, just an off-speed pitch that got away. But the Angels have to be happy because now this is the second time in the ball game where Kemp is leading off an inning. Nobody on. Can really go after him any way you want. You can nibble. You can go with fastballs, off speed.
Dodgers had hopes last inning with Carroll with a 1-out single before Ethier with an inning-ending double play. And the count 1-2, and both Kemp and the crowd not happy with Chris Conroy's call on this one. Went around. Was a swing. So it's 1-2. And again, a delay, and time is called. On the outside corner, strike 3, and Matt Kemp goes down. That's the 4th strikeout of the game for Tyler Chatwood.
Number 7, James Loney.
So he starts off with an off-speed pitch that gets away. So 1-0 in the count. That's the pitch right there that changes the whole at-bat. As a hitter, you're looking for a fastball. He gets the curveball over. Check swing. You're 1-2. You're looking for something in a certain spot. He gets a fastball right there.
So 4 strikeouts for Chatwood, all called third strikes.
Well, and you see Matt Kemp just got thrown out. Home plate umpire Chris Conroy threw him out. He's arguing from home plate. From the dugout. That part about all this, and it's something that I completely had a problem with when I was a player. There's an emotional component when you're a player, and you're upset. If you're at the other end of the dugout and you're screaming out onto the field, the umpires need to just disregard that, unless it's just verbally abusive. Because you're emotional. It's gonna die down. You're gonna get tired. But you can't be looking into the dugout. Oh, who's doing that? And then just can somebody, especially a guy like Matt Kemp. Come on.
You know, it's one thing to be shown up right around the plate area.
Yeah, and I don't think that's the issue right there. I mean, that's not what he was upset about. I think he was upset about the check swing and the fact that they appealed it. And he'll go back and look at it. And, okay. But see that, I just think that's too quick.
Chris Conroy chasing Matt Kemp. And so now the Dodgers are without their biggest weapon of the game. And he'll go into the locker room. James Loney is the batter with 1 out. And ball 1 to Loney, who took a called third strike in the 2nd inning. And it's 1-1 now to Loney.
Yeah, I don't think that Matt really could have been arguing about anything other than the check swing. I think that's what he was frustrated about. The other pitches, they looked like they got a good part of the plate. But the fact that Chris Conroy asked for help and then Tom Hallion banged him there, I think that's where the frustration started.
And a line drive, base hit to left field for James Loney. So the Dodgers with their 2nd hit. A 1-out single by Loney will bring up Aaron Miles to the plate.
Number 6, Aaron Miles.
Those of you just joining us, the Angels lead 2-0, and the Dodgers will have the tying run at the plate. Eric Ibar with the triple, knocking in Chatwood, who had singled for the first run. And Mark Trumbo with the solo home run. He leads the Angels in that department. And Hiroki Kuroda, his pitching number. So here's Aaron Miles, bounced out to first baseman Trumbo unassisted his first time up. and takes ball one inside. By the way, that was the second ejection of the year for Matt Kemp and the third of his career. So here's Miles, very reliable player to have around. And batting .415 in the month of June, so he's hot, and he's still hot. A base hit to right field. Loney will stop at second. The ball gets away from Abreu, and Loney will go to third, and sliding into second is Miles. And the Dodgers all of a sudden have the tying runs in scoring position. It'll be a single and an error for sure. And Abreu with his first error of the season.
Well, you mentioned Aaron Miles and what he's done for this Dodger ball club. Again, much like Jamie Carroll, playing a lot more than they'd expected. This, not a good play at all. You've got James Loney holding at second base. All you've got to do is pick it up. Bobby Abreu takes his eye off it, just lax for just a minute. Very important was Aaron Miles hustling down to first and rounding the bag and then able to take second base. Base hit here, you got yourself a tie ball game.
And it's Trent Olchin who took a called third strike his first time, so an opportunity for Trent Olchin making his fourth start of the year, and he takes a heavy cut and fouls it off for strike one.
Well, this is Trent's second at-bat. The very first at-bat got a lot of fastballs and foul pitches just like that. I believe Chatwood's going to keep going after him hard and in. Olchin hasn't been able to prove that he can get that bat head out in front yet.
One out, 2-0 Angels. Dodgers threaten, and the pitch is inside, and they count 1 ball and 1 strike. And if nothing else, with 1 out, you want to get at least 1 run in this situation. Obviously, ideally, you'd like to get the base hit to tie it up. Pitch is up high, 2-1. A.J. Ellis is on deck.
Well, this is where the Dodgers struggled last night. In the second, the third, and the fourth, they had a man on third with fewer than 2 outs. They didn't score.
Check swing, and it went around. Bill Miller, the third base umpire, indicates that Olchin swung at that pitch. Here it is.
He goes around. Again, if the bat crosses the plate, Bill Miller, a UCLA product, down at third base, said, hey, we went.
2 balls and 2 strikes now to Olchin. Loney is at third, Aaron Miles at second, and missing inside. And a full count, 3-2. And 1 pitch away from loading him up. Meanwhile, in the Dodger bullpen, right-hander Kenley Jensen begins to throw. Ellis waiting to hit, then this crowd enthused, perhaps for the first time this afternoon. 3-2 pitch, low ball 4, and the bases are loaded. And that is the first walk issued by Tyler Chatwood. The bases are loaded with A.J. Ellis coming up, and Mike Butcher, the pitching coach for the Angels, goes out to talk to his hurler as the entire infield joins in on the conference.
Well, I think he just goes out to remind Chatwood that you've got the 2-0 lead, and you're 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning unscathed. Double play ball, and you go back into the dugout. And we talked about that play with Aaron Miles, and you watch him hustling down to first. You watch him, he's looking, boom, he's going. You know, if he's just cruising and, I'm going to be smooth and just kind of round it a few feet over at first base, he won't have an opportunity to get to second. That's a big play.
So the Dodgers, for the first time, runners in scoring position. The bases are loaded. Loney at third, Miles at second, Olchin at first, and A.J. Ellis, who bounced out of the infield his first time up. Ball 1 outside. You mentioned Ellis. Up last year, actually the 4th straight season, he has seen some action with the Dodgers and was in 44 games last year. Marcus Thames is in the on-deck circle, and a big swing and a miss, 1-1. Now Thames came out of the action last night, but he's in the on-deck circle.
See him going after that pitch right there. That's a ball. You know, and this is where, as a hitter, you've got to be patient. You've got to be disciplined. The pitcher is in trouble. He's the one that should be panicking. Very easy to say, difficult to do.
1-1. Chatwood facing A.J. Ellis. That's down low. And 2-1. So Chatwood falling behind here. Was ahead of the hitters early in the game, but now the second time through the batting order. Don't forget Matt Kemp, who struck out looking to start this 5th inning, was thrown out of the game by home plate umpire Chris Conroy. So he's lost to the Dodgers, so they have to make hay while they can and manufacture runs, trailing 2-0. 2-1 to Ellis. 3-1, and 1 pitch away from forcing in a run. Here's Tyler Chatwood. It's low, ball far, and Ellis walks, and the Dodgers get a run. Everyone moves up a base. Loney comes in to score. Miles advances to 3rd, and Trent Ocean moves to 2nd. So back-to-back walks by Tyler Chatwood. The bases remain loaded. It's a 2-1 game. And Casey Blake is going to come up and pinch hit for Hiroki Kuroda.
Well, you see, they're talking to Chatwood, trying to calm him down. But really, the big play this inning is the move by Bobby Abreu in right field. Because instead of runners on 1st and 2nd, you put runners on 2nd and 3rd. Now you've got the young pitcher. He's thinking, oh, golly, you know, I've got to try and hold these guys there. He tries to be too fine. Ends up walking the next 2 hitters.
So it's a 2-1 game, and Casey Blake hitting .246, but 1 for 7 as a pinch hitter this year. But also a possessor of 5 career Grand Slam home runs. So after Kemp took a called 3rd strike, a pair of singles and a pair of walks. And here is Blake. Ball 1 outside. 1-0, and all of a sudden Chatwood having problems with his control. Time called, and Conger will go to the mound.
Well, he's in a stretch right now where his last 12 pitches that he's thrown 3 strikes. Now, he just seems to have lost it after that ball into right field. The base hit by Miles, and then Bobby Abreu misplaying it. Just hasn't been able to get back on track.
No one is throwing in the Angel bullpen. Told you that Kenley Jensen is likely to come in with Blake batting for Kuroda. And the pitch down the middle for a strike, 1-1.
There's Kuroda again. He threw well. He threw a number of pitches, but when the Dodgers have opportunities, they've got to give it everything they have.
Slice to right field, and this one will go foul. So Casey Blake with a foul drive to right field, and now 1-2 the count to him.
Well, this pitch on the outer half of the plate, Casey Blake trying to just shoot it to right field. You know, I think that's why Don Mattingly chose Casey Blake to hit in this situation as opposed to Marcus Thames, a guy that'll make contact. You're not looking for the big dog right here. You're just looking for a base hit.
So Chatwood, 1-2 to Blake. Line drive, caught, and the double play. Howie Kendrick timed it perfectly, made the catch, and doubles off Ellis at first. So Blake hits into a double play, and the Angels escape with only a run by the Dodgers. It's 2-1 after 5. It is sponsored by Chevrolet, proud to support youth baseball across the country. Well, the Dodgers get a run back, and the Angels come up in the 6th inning and will be facing a new pitcher, Kenley Jansen, a right-hander. And Tony Gwynn will go into center field, replacing Matt Kemp, who was ejected from the game. Last night, Gwynn replaced Marcus Thames, who had to come out of the game after a double with an injury. Showing bunt and taking ball 1 is Howie Kendrick. Struck out and walked and has a stolen base. Two balls and no strikes. Jansen 1-1 on the year with 1 save in 22 games and an earned run average of 5.70. 23-year-old right-hander came off the disabled list last Saturday. And now it's 2-1 as Kendrick fouls it back.
Well, Jansen's got a live arm. He closed some games out last year. Hard thrower, a former catcher.
There's a strike. 2-2. Kuroda worked 3 innings and allowed 5 hits. 2 runs, all earned. Walked 1 and struck out 2 and gave up the home run to Trumbo. So 5 innings, 3 hits, and 2 runs. And a fly ball to right field. Ethier coming over to make the catch. And Kendrick is retired for the first out. Well, help make a baseball moment kids will never forget. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to support youth baseball. Plus, enter to win 1 of 4 trips to the 2011 MLB All-Star Game and the keys to a new Chevrolet. Did you go to an All-Star Game before you played in one when you were?
I never played in an All-Star Game. Never played.
Okay, then did you
most home runs in the National League all time. To never have played in a game.
Give me that microphone again.
I did. I went to an All-Star Game in San Diego.
Okay, Chris Rose.
That was '92, I believe. Ken Griffey Jr., the MVP.
No, I went earlier than that. I was a little guy.
Chris, I know you work All-Star games now, but what about just going as a fan?
You know what? I never went to one until started covering them a couple of years ago. So as a little kid, Caro's, dad went to Yale. He got flown all around the country, wherever he wanted to go.
Yeah.
So, by the way, you should have made it that one year, EK.
Yeah, you're right.
What was that?
1932. No.
Bobby Abreu takes the breaking ball down low, and the count is 2 balls and a strike. I was fortunate enough to go to an All-Star game when I was a young kid, and it was in Philadelphia. And the game was the only All-Star game that was called off because of rain after 5 innings.
How disappointed were you? I mean, really, as a little guy,
I'm disappointed today over it. Today.
Really?
This morning I'm saying, why did that game have to be rained out? Because, one of the things I wanted to do, which is great for youngsters, to go to see batting practice and see all the uniforms, see all the players in their various uniforms. That's one of the thrills of it.
No, it's a great event. Great event.
Because of the rain, there was no BP and only 5 innings of game. 2-2 to Abreu. Fly ball down the left field line, and it'll be foul. Abreu 0 for 2. A couple of fly balls in this game. But you talked about how he rates all time.
Again, a very consistent ball player and somebody that goes unnoticed unless you're playing against him or he's on your team. As a fan, you're not enamored with, the home run or the RBI because he doesn't have monstrous totals. But he gets on base, he makes things happen. Solid player for many years.
Ellis wanted that pitch. It was just outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And also one of the classier players you'll find as well. 16th season in the big leagues. Full count with 1 out. Line shot right out D. Gordon, and he was backed up a bit by that line drive. But Abreu is retired for the 3rd time, 2 away.
Batting next, left fielder, Vernon Wells.
Well, you watch D. Gordon in the way he catches this ball. I'm sure he's moving back a little bit because it's hit so hard. But one of the things about playing at Dodger Stadium in the daytime, difficult to pick the ball up off of the bat, especially in the infield.
2 down to Vernon Wells.
The reason you've got the light seats, white shirts right behind home plate, the brightness. And I remember watching Ozzie Smith break, the great shortstop. He'd break to his left and there was a ball hit to his right. And you're thinking, man, what the heck was that? Didn't see the ball.
How many other ballparks? I mean, you talk about the sun fields and fly balls in a lot of parks. But infielders, that's another story on low hit balls.
Well, low hit ball, again, the ground ball you don't pick up off the bat. And having played in a number of places, I'd say this was probably the most difficult.
0-2 pitch, strike 3, and a 1-2-3 inning for Kenley Jansen. And he comes in and retires the Angels in order. Tight game here, 2-1 in favor of the Angels, with the Dodgers batting in the 6th. 1-0 the count to D. Gordon, and Tyler Chatwood has had first pitch strikes to only 4 of the last 16 batters. D. Gordon 0 for 2. Took a called third strike and was out on a superb play by Chatwood, fielding a bunt. So Gordon is 0 for 2. Top of the order for the Dodgers. It'll be Jamie Carroll and Andre Ethier. Dodgers were knocking on the door, didn't come through in the 4th inning, and finally broke through with a run last inning. Check swing, and he went around. 2 balls and a strike. In there. 2-2 now.
Chatwood's been able to get that pitch called for a strike. That inside corner to the left-handed hitters. Gordon a couple times, James Loney. Chatwood's just been living in there.
Roll to the right side. Trumbo gets to the bag, and Gordon is retired. Sounds of the game, and let's pick up D. Gordon here.
Second baseman, number 14.
Let me catch the ball. Yes, sir. That boy, Jamie Carroll, that boy.
So that's D. Gordon. Chris Rose?
Yeah, guys, obviously D. Gordon's brought a lot of excitement to the game with his speed and everything, but I asked Matt Kemp before the game about his physique or lack thereof. I said, can you put about 16 or 17 milkshakes in this kid a day? He said, actually, he eats like a horse. He did have the best line about his physique. He said he uses a Cheerio as a hula hoop.
That's good. Jamie Carroll, the batter, 1 ball and 1 strike. Gordon retired, and Carroll got the first Dodger hit with 1 out in the 4th inning after Tyler Chatwood had retired the first 10 Dodgers he faced. Ethier bounced into a double play to end the inning. Actually, Eric Ibar made a terrific play on a hard hit ball to start the double play, and then the Dodgers, after Kemp was ejected arguing balls and strikes, came through and got a run. Last inning. Check swing, and it's 2-2 now to Carroll. Off speed pitch, and the count runs full to the Dodgers second baseman.
See, if I'm Chatwood, I'm going right after him. I don't want to mess around. I get now to a 3-2 count because now the hitter that I can't let beat me is Andre Ethier, and he's on deck.
And ball 4, Carroll draws a walk with 1 out here in the 6th inning. 3rd walk given up by Chatwood. Well, this July, baseball's biggest stars will gather together in the Arizona desert for one spectacular night in the summer's biggest event. Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2011 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday, July 12th, live from Phoenix at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on Fox. And don't forget, you can see a special world premiere sneak preview of the upcoming Fox show, The X Factor, during the broadcast. And here's Andre Ethier talking about All-Stars, and he takes a changeup outside for ball 1, 0 for 2. Grounded to second and then hit into a double play to end the 4th inning.
Man, if you're Chatwood, you can't give him anything to drive. Nothing.
Fly ball, center field. Borges has a beat on it and makes the catch in front of the warning track. And going back to first base is Jamie Carroll. Just didn't get enough of it, and Ethier is retired for the second out.
Well, Chatwood got away with one. I mean, that's up in the zone. Ethier's not sure if he's got it or not. Gets under it just a bit, not quite out in front. I mean, you've got the best player in this stadium is in the clubhouse right now. He can't do anything. Ethier at the plate, he is the Dodger offensive threat. You can't even mess around with him. Chatwood, like I said, he got away with him there.
So Tony Gwynn, who replaced Kemp in center field, coming up batting .217 with 8 runs batted in, and diving back is Carroll. Tony Gwynn, first year with the Dodgers, began his career with the Brewers, and then the last 2 spent with San Diego Padres. That's up high. 1-0 the count to Tony Gwynn. This is his 66th appearance this year. He has started 20 games. Two balls and no strikes. There you see Chatwood has thrown 90 pitches. And clinging to a 2-1 lead. Ground ball to the right side. Kendrick makes the play, and that'll retire the side. The Dodgers lead 1, and we'll return to Los Angeles after word from your local Fox station. Back to Fox Saturday Baseball, presented by Sprint. All together now. 7th inning, and the Angels leading the Dodgers 2-1. Alberto Callaspo taking strike 1, 0 for 2. Fly to left and bounce to Loney at first base. It'll be Callaspo, Trumbo, and Conger for the Angels against Kenley Jansen, who retired the Angels in order last inning in relief of Hiroki Kuroda. Kuroda worked 5 innings, allowed both Angel runs on 3 hits, including the home run by Trumbo. Fastball in there for the strike. 1-2 to Callaspo. So Callaspo, who's now made 63 starts, all at third base. That's 10 more than all of last year. So he's happy to be a little healthier, although he was on the shelf with a hamstring pull for a while.
Stocky little guy, can drive the ball a little bit. Good hitter.
And a drive hit to right center field. Coming over and making the catch is Tony Gwynn. He got a good jump on it And Gwynn makes the catch to retire Cayaspo with the first out.
Look, Matt Kemp is a Gold Glover out in center field. And being replaced by Tony Gwynn Jr., you don't lose a lot of defense. In fact, you may gain a little bit of speed. But you see Tony Gwynn Jr. gets a good jump, runs it down. It's a nice play.
So one away, and Mark Trumbo coming up. Michael Kahn is in the bullpen for the Angels now, and the first pitch is up high, ball one to Trumbo, who hit his 13th home run in the fourth inning, and is the top rookie home run hitter amongst the leaders, or the leader in many categories, including leading the Angels in homers. 2-0, and here is that line shot.
Yeah, that ball just runs down and in. Trumbo just drops the bat head. You see that. Notice the back elbow. Back elbow is bent, compact. That's where your strongest point. You know, extension happens after contact if you're trying to maximize driving the ball.
2 balls and 1 strike to Trumbo. He was born in Anaheim, so he's a homegrown Angel. 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
Yeah, no question, a lot of power. What the Angels hope is that he develops and he becomes a bit more disciplined, a bit more patient, and hitting with runners in scoring position at a 218 clip coming into today.
Fouls it away. Minor league player of the year last season for the Angels, and his 36 homers led everyone in the minor leagues.
Well, and they hope that he translates into a successful big league career. You know, they've had Dallas McPherson a few years ago, struggled. Brandon Wood struggled.
And chases and strikes out. They also, the Angels, have Mike Trout, who is a highly touted performer as well, who the Angels like very much. So there are 2 down, and that is the second strikeout for Jansen. Well, today's game is being broadcast to American troops stationed in 175 countries around the world via the Armed Forces Network. We thank you heartedly for your sacrifice and service to our country. Hank Conger with 2 out. He's 0 for 2 today. Looks at a breaking pitch, and it's a strike on the outside edge. Conger, a switch hitter. Angels coming in 3 games out of the lead in the AL West behind the Texas Rangers. And looking to get even at 39-39 on the season. Next 7 games separate all the teams in that 4-team division. Broken bat and a 1-hopper to Loney, and that'll do it in the 7th. So Kenley Jansen, doing the job for the Dodgers, comes in and retires all 6 batters he's faced. Dodgers bat in the 7th, down by a run. Sprint is sponsored by DirecTV. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV. And by Burger King, now offering $1 frozen drinks. And right now, it's time for the Just for Men Keep Your Edge Spotlight.
Well, it's Angel pitcher Tyler Chatwood. He's been doing it all day long on the mound, keeping the Dodgers off balance, working that inside part of the plate for the left-handed hitters. Little help from Howie Kendrick, too. Hey, and let's not forget, he got that base hit. Scored the Angels' first run. Doing it all, Tyler Chatwood.
And just as Tyler Chatwood gives the Angels the edge, you too can keep your edge with Just for Men mustache and beard. And there he is. He's thrown 91 pitches. And he's coming out here in the bottom of the 7th inning to face James Loney, Aaron Miles, and Trent Olchen as the Dodgers trailing 2-1. And getting 2 double plays, very key for Chatwood and that Angel defense. Actually, both teams have been outstanding in the field this year. Both ranked second in their respective leagues. So the Dodgers trailing 2-1 to the Angels, who have now won 4 in a row against the Dodgers in this Freeway Series here at Dodger Stadium. In 6 of the last 7, they've had their number here.
Well, they really haven't. You talked about the defense of both ball clubs. I think each manager would trade a little bit of that defense for some offense, because both of these teams have struggled mightily, especially with runners in scoring position. I mean, they rank 23rd and 24th in all of Major League Baseball. They've got the pitching. They play well defensively, but you've got to score runs.
And they're both in the race. Of course, the Dodgers a little more tenuous right now, trailing by 9 games. That's the farthest they have been from the lead in the NL West. The Angels, as we said, just 3 out of the lead in the American League West. Here's James Loney, who has one of the 3 Dodger hits, a single in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 2. Strike 1 to Loney. Matt Guerrero is up and throwing in the Dodger bullpen. One ball and 1 strike. There's Guerrero. Out of play, and it's 1-2. Chatwood has been relatively economical with his pitches throughout the innings. The tough inning for him was the 6th when he threw 24 pitches. Foul ball, and it remains 1-2.
Well, and you see Chatwood, when he's trying to put away the left-handed hitter today, he's going on the inner half of the plate. Home plate umpire Chris Conroy has proven that he's going to call that pitch on the inner half, and Chatwood has been continuing to pound that area of the plate.
And Loney strikes out for the first out.
You see Conger setting up inside for that pitch. Starts off inside and then gets a little tail, goes out over the plate. Again, Chatwood against those lefties. He's just going in.
That's the 5th strikeout for Chatwood and the first swinging strikeout. Aaron Miles with a sharp single to right field and advanced to second on Bobby Abreu's error. And the Dodgers loaded the bases. They got their run on a bases-loaded walk to Ellis. And then Casey Blake, pinch hitting, lined into an inning double play. So 2 double plays have really helped the Angel cause today. And 1-1 to count to the switch hitting Miles. Two and 1 now to Aaron Miles. 34-year-old facing Tyler Chatwood at age 21. 100th pitch of the day for Chatwood, and it's up the middle and through into center field for a base hit. So Aaron Miles, with his 2nd hit of the game, has 2 of the 4 Dodger hits, and he is the tying run aboard with 1 away. That'll bring up Trent Olchen. What is the greatest moment in the 77-year history of the MLB All-Star Game? Well, you decide that. Join the Midsummer Classics debate by going to MLB.com/moments to fill out your bracket and tune into Fox Saturday Baseball each week leading up to the 2011 All-Star Game. See which moments advance to the next round. They did the same thing in the NCAA tournament, the Final Four weekend, and it's a great thing. On the AL side, Ted Williams walk-off homer in 41 versus Cal Ripken swan song homer in 2001. Carl Hubbell struck out 5 straight Hall of Famers in an All-Star game. Stan Musial of the Cardinals with a 12th inning walk-off blast in Milwaukee. So Trent Olson with the count 0-1 and a runner at first and 1 out. And Chatwood is ahead of the Dodger left fielder. No balls and 2 strikes. He has struck out and walked. Tyler Chatwood, who was on the losing end in the championship game in high school here at Dodger Stadium for Redlands East Valley High for the CIF Southern Section, and the count 1-2. Trying to get a win here and up his record in interleague play to 3-0.
I'm a little surprised that Miles at first base, although he doesn't steal a lot of bases, doesn't make an attempt here. Conger has really struggled behind the plate, throwing runners out.
He faked going and then went back. And the pitch is a ball, 2 balls, 2 strikes. As Olchin checks with Tim Wallach, the Dodger third base coach. And there's Hank Conger looking into the dugout for what the Angels strategy might be. 2-2, 1 out. Angels leading 2-1.
And I think where you get to this part of the lineup, the fact that arguably the National League MVP at this point is in the clubhouse, out of the game, you got to force the issue. You've got to be aggressive. And if you run yourself out of an inning, so be it. But if you're going to sit and wait for a couple of hits, you might find yourself on the short end.
And you may not get that heart of that order, what's left of it, until that 9th inning. The pitch is outside. So a full count, 3-2 to Olchin with A.J. Ellis on deck.
Yeah, he's got to be moving now. Has to be running now.
Michael Kahn, who was up throwing last inning, sat down, throwing again for the Angels. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Aaron Miles. And aware of that possibility, Chatwood goes over there. One out in the 7th. Dodgers trail the Angels by 1 run. And there goes Miles, and Olchin fouls it out of play. So they'll do it again as Miles trots back to first base. Dodger offense has been singles today, 4 of them. Jamie Carroll in the 4th, Loney and Miles in the 5th, and with 1 out, Miles here in the 7th.
Well, again, as Chatwood has tried to go hard and into the left-handed hitters.
And again, Miles is off, and a fly ball hit to left field. Vernon Wells playing in perfect position, makes the catch. And getting back to first base is Miles, and there are 2 away. Good positioning for Wells, and he handles Olchin for the 2nd out.
Now watch Aaron Miles. See, he recognizes where the ball is, but see, watch him. He rounds the base. Kendrick catches it. Now watch him. He retouches the base on his way back to first. A lot of guys will not do that. Sometimes, especially in the youth leagues, they just run right back to first base. That was Vernon Wells out in left field, by the way.
And A.J. Ellis, who walked with the bases loaded in the 5th to drive in the only Dodger run of the game. 0 for 1 officially, and time called. So Tyler Chatwood now is up to 108 pitches in the game. 2 down, the runner at first. That's low for a ball. Marcus Thames, who was on deck back in the 5th inning, and then Casey Blake was installed instead as a pinch hitter for Kuroda. Now Thames in the on-deck circle again for the Dodgers, just in case. 2 balls and no strikes. Interesting, Marcus Thames last night came out of the game in the 2nd inning with a strained left calf after he doubled off the wall. And it wasn't quite day to day for Thames. It was like hour to hour because he's.
Well, the Dodgers don't have a lot of options. I mean, that's just the reality of it. You still got Uribe.
2-0 pitch down low, and now Chatwood is behind 3-0. Remember, Kahn has been throwing in the bullpen for the Angels. And if Ellis can get on base, Marcus Thames will come up and pinch hit for Kenley Jansen. Three and one. Fly ball to center field. Borges backing up. A couple of feet from the wall, and the Dodgers with a hit lead 1. It remains 2-1 as the Angels come up in the 8th. The West AL and NL into play, and the Angels, as we mentioned, 3 behind. Oakland 7 back. This is the tightest division of all. The Dodgers 9 coming into this one, and the Dodgers will go to Minnesota to play 3 games before going to Anaheim against the Angels as Peter Borges bunts foul for the first strike. And meanwhile, the Angels will be entertaining the Washington Nationals. And a very interesting story this week with the Nationals, with Jim Riggleman up and leaving in the middle of the week.
Yeah, wanted to have a discussion about his option year, whether or not it was going to be picked up. And GM Mike Rizzo didn't feel that this was the time. Jim Riggleman said, well, and I shouldn't be managing here anymore. And he took his bags and went to Florida.
Pete Gordon throws out Peter Borges. Meanwhile, Matt Guerrero, the new Dodger pitcher, and Deoner Navarro behind the plate. So a new Dodger battery here in the 8th inning.
Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for the Angels, number 39.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter. Russell Branyan will be batting for Tyler Chatwood. Russell Branyan signed late in May after being waived by the Diamondbacks. Angels are the 10th team for Russell Branyan. And takes low, ball 1.
Yeah, he's traveled. There's Chatwood right there. Excellent job today out on the mound, at the plate. Branyan's been around. Basically an all or nothing guy. He goes up there and he swings for the fence. And, you know, clubs take a chance on him, hoping that, you know, he can get hot for a while, but just never been able to stick.
Branyan 56 homers in the last 2 years. Hasn't hit one yet for the Angels. That strike on the outside corner. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Tyler Chatwood helping his own cause today. A line shot up the alley in left center field. And this could be extra bases. Retrieved by Tony Gwynn, and going into second is Branyan. A 1-out double here in the 8th inning. And the 3rd extra base hit for the Angels.
Ball out over the plate. Branyan does a nice job of driving it to left center. Again, one of those types of guys that when he does make contact, he's going to drive the ball.
That was Branyan's first hit as a pinch hitter, now 1 for 5. Here is Eric Ibar, who's 1 for 3 with his triple back in the 3rd, drove home the first Angel run. And then Trumbo with a home run in the 4th. The Dodgers getting a run in the 5th inning. And a chance for more, ended with a line drive double play with the bases loaded. So it's 2-1. Each team with 4 hits. Been a well-pitched game all the way around in this one. And Ibar with an opportunity, and the Angels with an insurance run in scoring position. Way in front of that breaking pitch, fouls it away, 0-2. So there's Eric Ibar, and 346 with runners in scoring position. So we ought to just title that clutch.
Well, he puts the bat on the ball. And he's got a little bit of pop. It's a tough at-bat.
Hong-Chi Kuo throwing in the Dodger bullpen. And Ibar strikes out for out number 2. And that'll bring up Howie Kendrick.
Second baseman, Howie Kendrick.
Kendrick 0 for 2, walked and stole a base in the 3rd inning. Angels with a runner in scoring position and 2 out now, and ball 1 to count to Kendrick. Matt Guerrero, 32 years old, native of Shaker Heights, Ohio, outside of Cleveland, and has been the Dodgers' busiest reliever, making his 39th appearance today. Breaking pitch and a good one, 1-1. Left-hander Scott Downs now throwing for the Angels. Inside, 2-1.
Well, and you got to believe that. You see Scott Downs. You got to believe that this is the last hitter for Guerrero. You got the left-handed hitting Abreu on deck. If Kendrick does get down to first, Hong-Chi Kuo has to get the call from Don Mattingly.
And a shot And a base hit to right center field. Good play made by Gwynn, but the run's going to score. And the Angels take a 3-1 lead. Howie Kendrick with a sharp single, and credit Tony Gwynn for cutting it off an extra base hit. And it is now 3-1, and Kendrick with his 25th RBI of the year, scoring Brandon.
Well, we talked about it. Kendrick, the most consistent Angel hitter all year long. Does a nice job of just driving the ball to the right side. He needs to score that run. Tony Gwynn Jr., awesome job of cutting that ball off. Gets it into second base, keeps Kendrick at first base.
And that'll be all for Matt Guerrero. Hong-Chi Kuo will enter the game when we return to Dodger Stadium. Whoa, the fourth of the day, and he'll be facing Bobby Abreu, 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Angels leading the Dodgers 3-1, getting a run here in the top of the 8th inning. Abreu 0 for 3, and the runner at first base is Howie Kendrick. So Matt Guerrero giving up a run on 2 hits and responsible for the base runner. Kuo pitched the third of an inning last night, gave up 2 hits and 2 runs, one of which was earned. Angels took a 2-0 lead. Dodgers fought back from 1. A couple of double plays have helped out the Angel cause, and Matt Kemp ejected for arguing a strike call in the 5th inning. So the Dodgers without their big weapon and trying to come back, and it'll be the number 9 hitter and then the top of the order for the Dodgers in the 8th. And Tyler Chatwood working 7 impressive innings today, giving up 1 run on 4 hits, striking out 5. So we'll see a new pitcher. There's a strike to Abreu, and it's 1-1. Javi Guerra is in the Dodgers pen, and the left-hander Scott Downs has been throwing for the Angels.
Well, Guerra, the closer now for this Dodger ball club. Assumed the role the last couple of weeks.
Two balls and a strike to Abreu. So the Angels getting production from the top of the order today. In fact, they did last night with Ibar with a home run, as well as Howie Kendrick. Ibar with an RBI triple and Kendrick with a run driven in single. So those two have been a big part of that offense in the first 2 games of the series, as the Angels try to make it 5 in a row here at Dodger Stadium against their rivals.
Well, that's a guy right there. Tyler Chatwood, been the most important Angel today. Threw extremely well, scored the Angels' first run. And we go back, the top of the lineup has been productive, but I will say it again and again. 3, 4, and 5 for the Angels are going to dictate how their season goes.
Abreu draws a walk. And runners now at first and second as Howie Kendrick moves to second. 2 on and 2 out. And you want to look at the players with 500 doubles, 250 or more homers, or 350 stolen bases. Quite a class there.
Well, it really is. I mean, you look at Ricky Henderson and Barry Bonds. I mean, those two guys, they're on another planet as far as their ability to play the game, impact the game. And you're talking about some of the greatest that ever played. Craig Biggio, an excellent, consistent player. Bobby Abreu, much similar in that mold as a Biggio.
Vernon Wells, the hitter. 0 for 3. The Angels with runners at first and second, 2 down. Already have a run across here in the top of the 8th inning. And 1-0 the count to Wells, who has fly to left, fouled out to A.J. Ellis, and struck out. Yonder Navarro came in to start this 8th inning behind the plate in relief of Ellis behind the plate with Matt Guerrero, and then Hong Chi Kuo has come on. Good pitch for Wells, and he just missed it. Fouled it straight back, and it's 1-1. Angels lead the Dodgers 3-1. They won last night in the series opener 8-3. They got a gem of a pitching matchup for the series finale. Drive hit deep to left field. Way back, and Vernon Wells into the Dodger bullpen. A 3-run homer. And that really opens it up for the Angels. 6-1 lead now in the 8th inning. And for Wells, his 8th homer of the year, and now has 23 runs driven in. Well, both home runs by the Angels today have been shots.
That's an important one, though, because that gives Angel fans hope. Now, Vernon Wells doesn't have to be a 35 home run guy. He needs to be a 20, 25, and drive in 90. He hasn't been that up to this point, but in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, he's shown some signs of that all-star type Vernon Wells.
Boy, they really could use Wells. Coming up, and that's why they got him for this express purpose. And he gives the Twins a 5-run lead. Alberto Callaspo with the count 0-1 to him. So Hong Chi Kuo struggles for the 2nd straight game against the Angels, and the foul out of play. It's 0-2.
See Wells right there. He's excited. More so than anything, as a player, you just want to start feeling good about yourself. Start having some confidence. Start believing that, you know what, I still can do certain things.
Back. And it has to be also a little different when you're joining a new team. Widely heralded for what you did with Toronto, and now you come to the Angels. We need you, and then it's a real struggle in the early going.
Well, sure, you're trying to prove yourself. You're trying to validate the trade. You want to go out and do well. Nobody wants to do well more than Vernon Wells.
Popped up to the left side of the infield. And D. Gordon makes the catch to retire the side. 2 of the 3 runs charged to Matt Guerrero. And here is that home run. And both of them by Trumbo, and the 3-run drive by Wells got out in a hurry. Sprint is sponsored by Michelin, a better way forward, and by Viagra. Leonardo Navarro is leading off, batting in the number 9 position as the Dodgers, when they brought in Guerrero and Navarro, the double switch, and so they have their catcher leading off here in the bottom of the 8th inning against Scott Downs. And the first pitch is ball 1. So Scott Downs, 35-year-old from Louisville, Kentucky, gave up a run Wednesday against the Marlins, snapped a 27-inning scoreless streak in interleague play. This is his 10th season, and the last 6 with Toronto, so he has seen Vernon Wells up close and personal.
Yes, he has. Well, he's been a nice addition to this Angels staff, to this bullpen, and historically, that's been the strength of the Angel ball club, the bullpen, and Mike Scioscia's ability to have his guys in certain roles and just run one guy after the other out there at you.
Those are Navarro's numbers. 1-1 to count outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. So Tyler Chatwood pitched 7 innings, gave up a run on 4 hits, struck out 5, walked 3, threw 113 pitches before departing. And now Scott Downs with a 5-run lead for the Angels in the bottom of the 8th, and a line drive right at Eric Ibar for out number 1. And now time for a DirecTV game break. The Cleveland native, Chris Rowe.
Thank you, Dick. Matt Cain, 6 Ks and 7+. It was scoreless until the most exciting play in baseball, the bases loaded balk by Tony Sipp. That is your lone run. Wilson gets the save. Giants pull into a tie atop the NL West with the D-backs. Back on up to Dick and EK.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. And the Colorado Rockies have been playing impressive ball as of late, and as we learned a couple of years ago, you can never count them out, as D. Gordon takes strike 1.
You know, you look at all of the divisions, specifically right now the National League West, and you can make a case for 2, 3, 4 teams in each of the divisions. Nobody seems to be separating themselves at all. Maybe you'd argue that Philadelphia, but I think they've got some issues now, especially with Oswalt going on the disabled list.
Yeah, the Atlanta Braves look like they're for real. And a lot of people, Chris, thought they were for sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt that they're going to stick around. I mean, the Phillies actually have some injuries on their pitching staff now, with Roy Oswalt going on the DL with a bad back. Contreras went back on the DL as well out of the bullpen. So, you know, listen, the top 3 of their rotation we know is outstanding. But, Eric, I'm curious about the NL West. Do you think the Giants have to make an offensive move in order to get themselves going? They've won the last 2, but that offense has really been kind of grinding away at best.
Right, it has been lethargic, but you have to look at the other teams in the division. And, you know, if the other teams in the division don't make a move, then maybe Brian Sabian stands pat and goes with what he has. I think he'll be more reactionary than proactive. You know, it depends on what Colorado does, what Arizona does. What's going to be interesting when you talk about the West, Rafael Furcal, he comes back pretty soon on this Los Angeles Dodger ball club. He plays shortstop. What do they do with him, with D. Gordon? Do they move him to second? Is he trade bait?
Well, you know, that's an interesting thing, and that has been broached in this area, that if Furcal comes back, you play him at second base, and all Furcal said was just give me notice, and when I go through my rehab, let me, get some chances at second base.
And I think, look, Rafael Furcal will do whatever you want him to do, but, you know, I'm thinking, look, as a former player, a guy that, you know, I know Furcal still believes and can play shortstop at a high level in this league when healthy, you know, he's probably thinking to himself, why do I move? And I can help somebody get to the playoffs. The reality is this Dodger ball club in the last 3 years, you can talk about Manny all you want, but Rafael Furcal, when he goes, the Dodger ball club goes.
2 balls and 2 strikes to D. Gordon with 1 out. Gordon 0 for 3 on the day. 1 out, bottom of the 8th inning. Big 4-run top of the 8th inning has opened it up for the Angels. And a breaking ball lifted out to right field. Bobby Abreu coming on and makes the catch for out number 2. Like Fox Sports on Facebook, and you could win sports gear. Enter today at facebook.com/Fox Sports, where you will find exclusive news, video, and games. So log on today to facebook.com/Fox Sports. Go ahead, like us. You know, you brought up a point about the Giants, and you said you thought he was going to be proactive, Brian Sabie. He was last year. And when you're the Giants and you're coming off a world championship like this, and one big acquisition will have you win again, you've got to do it, don't you think?
Well, I think he's in a position. I don't think he goes out and makes the big first move. I think he watches what the other teams do in the division, whether it's Arizona, whether it's Colorado. Because if you're a team that is going to do business with the San Francisco Giants, you're going to hold out for some pitching. And I'm not sure that it makes any sense if you're San Francisco to do anything with that pitching. That's what got you there last year. That's what's going to get you there this year.
Well, you can't trade, obviously, your key pitchers or even the ones.
But even a guy like Sanchez, right. You know, I mean,
I agree with you.
That's I just.
What are you going to get for him?
Right.
2 balls and no strikes. Jamie Carroll with a call strike. 2 balls and 1 strike now. The Angels with 6 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. The Dodgers 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors. Tyler Chatwood retired the first 10 batters he faced today. Helped his cause with a single, which led to the first run. Callaspo and a 1-2-3 inning for Scott Downs. Angels come up in the 9th with a 6-1 lead. Era from Denton, Texas, where North Texas State is located. They might have changed the name of that school. Pitched a scoreless inning Wednesday against the Tigers. Has 2 saves, 1 last Sunday against Houston. And rookie made his big league debut on May the 15th and will be facing Mark Trumbo, a rookie who has been very impressive in his first year. He has a home run back in the 4th inning, 1 for 3 in the game. 6-1, the Angels lead the Dodgers in the top of the 9th inning. 1 ball and no strikes. Angels have Trevor Bell working in their bullpen. Meanwhile, Guerra is the 5th pitcher of the game for the Dodgers. 2-0 now. Hiroki Kuroda started and worked 5 innings, giving up 2 runs and 3 hits. Didn't pitch badly at all.
No, he pitched well. I mean, he was lifted for a pinch hitter. Bases were loaded. Casey Blake came up to the plate and hit into that double play. Line drive to Kendrick, made a nice catch and doubled off A.J. Ellis at first base.
Been a tough luck pitcher for sure, and on his way to losing his last 6 decisions. So,
well, and look at the run support. I mean,
right.
1 run today, and those starts going back to the first week of May. He's averaged a little over a run of support a game. 1 run. I mean, that you have to be so fine to pitch.
Guerra falls behind 3-1 to Trumbo.
And Trumbo's going to be swinging from his shoes right here.
13 homers, 32 runs batted in. He did, and he fouled it back. Full count now to the Angels first baseman with Hank Conger and Peter Borges coming up.
But Guerra's been up in the zone with almost every one of his pitches, and you live up there at 89 or 90, you're going to get hurt.
Was alluding to tomorrow's pitching matchup. Jared Weaver and Clayton Kershaw. As good as it gets.
Well, not if you're a hitter, it's not.
And you're a hitter, and you would think not. Shot off of the leg of Guerra, coming over. So give Guerra an assist he didn't want. That's 1-4-3 on the out, and Trumbo's retired. That had to sting.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it got him flush, but I can say that sitting up here. Trumbo hustling all the way. Guerra says he's okay. Well, he won't acknowledge anything, but I'll guarantee you he's icing after the game.
And Jamie Carroll with an alert play. 1 away to Hank Conger, who is 0 for 3 this afternoon. Jared Weaver at 9-4, and a lot of people talking that he's the morning line favorite to be the starter for the American League at the All-Star game, which will be seen exclusively on Fox Tuesday, July 12th. You'll be there as well, as you always are. 1-0 the count to Conger. Two 2-0.
You see Trumbo hustling down, and yeah, that's just a real tough one there.
Well, the foot was a little bit off the bat.
Yeah, it really did. It looked like there was a little space there.
So it wasn't a matter of did he beat the throw. The foot came off the bag, and you could see the way the foot came back on the bag.
As you watch Loney, just looked like a little bit of space. You got a 6-1 ball game, though. Nice defensive play. Going to give it to the defense.
And the pitcher remains healthy through it all. 2-1. Breaking ball, and it's 3-1 now to Conger. Angels looking to get back to 500. It's been a while since the 5th of June that they were in the break-even point. And ball 4, and Conger draws a 1-out walk by Javi Guerra. And that'll bring up Peter Borges, who is 0 for 3.
Center field, number 25, Peter Borges.
Angels with the single runs in the 3rd and 4th innings. Dodgers got their run in the 5th, and then a explosion of 4 runs in the 8th inning. And giving the Angels breathing room here. 1-0 the count to Borges. Three of those homers coming on Vernon Wells' 8th drive of the year. And it's 2-0 to Borges. With the pitcher spot on deck, Bobby Wilson will be batting for Downs, provided there isn't a double play to end the inning. And there'll be a fly ball to right field. Coming on over is Ethier to make the catch. For out number 2, going back to first, is Conger. Well, this July, baseball's biggest stars gather together. Scene will be the Arizona desert, and a spectacular night in the summer's biggest event. Fox will bring you every thrilling moment of the 2011 MLB All-Star Game. Coverage will begin Tuesday, July 12th, live from Phoenix at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on Fox. And don't forget, you can see a special world premiere sneak preview of the upcoming Fox show, The X Factor, during that broadcast. So here's Bobby Wilson. Wilson pinch hitting. Branyan pinch hit last inning and got a double and came around and scored a run. Wilson with 1 RBI hitting .200. Last played in June the 15th. So he has been on the bench for quite a while. 2 out, 1 on here in the top of the 9th inning, and a call strike. It's 1-1.
Well, one of the 3 catchers that the Angels carry, Wilson, Mathis, and of course Conger. You know, one of the things that Mike Scioscia's always done, you had that defensive guy, you had that offensive guy. They really haven't had the offensive guy, though, this year. Remember Mike Napoli, who since moved on to Texas, but he used to catch a little bit, had a little bit of pop.
1-2 now to the pinch hitter Wilson, with Conger at first and 2 out. And the annual Freeway Homecoming for Mike Scioscia, Mickey Hatcher, and Alfredo Griffin. And of course, they were asked what their biggest memories of that World Series, and they all mentioned Kirk Gibson.
Yeah, I don't think you can't have that as your biggest memory. I remember I was in instructional league with the Dodgers at the time. I'm in Arizona, a house at myself, and I can still remember the farmhands. Donnie Carroll and Bill Benet. We were ordering pizza and we were watching the game. I remember where I was.
What was on the pizza?
Pepperoni.
All right. Wilson strikes out. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. 6-1 the Angels. Baseball presented by Sprint. All together now. And Trevor Bell will look to finish it off for the Angels here in the bottom of the ninth inning. 24-year-old Californian, last pitched on Friday. And he has been an idle right-hander, only seen action in 4 of the last 20 games. But here's Trevor Bell. He'll be facing Andre Ethier, Tony Gwynn, and James Loney here in the bottom of the ninth inning. 6-1 for the Angels, 1-4-0 for the Dodgers. Ethier 0 for 3, takes strike 1. Ethier with a opportunity in the 4th inning with Carroll getting the first Dodger hit after Tyler Chatwood retired the first 10. And Carroll getting on first base, a double play, ending it. And the ground ball, and the Trumbo making the play unassisted, and there's one away. Mike Scioscia, now one of 7 major league managers with 1,000 wins with managing only one team. And, look at that list. Tom Kelly, and you ask Ron Gardner, will tell you how great Tom Kelly was. Joe Torre is going to be at the Yankee Old Timers game. Tony La Russa, who's headed for the Hall of Fame, as is Bobby Cox.
Yeah, I think when you talk about Mike Scioscia, he's one of the rare combinations of strategy and garnering the respect of his players. Being a clubhouse presence as well. Usually the managers are real strong in one area. Your great managers are strong in both. And Mike Scioscia is as good as there is in the major leagues.
2 balls and no strikes to Tony Gwynn, who replaced Matt Kemp after he was ejected for arguing a strike call in the 5th inning. Oddly enough, after Kemp was ejected, the Dodgers mounted their really only threat of the game. They got their run, and then a double play ended that threat. And ball 4, and Gwynn is on with 1 out here in the 9th inning, and James Loney coming up to the plate. 6-1 the score. We want to thank our technical and production crew for their outstanding job today at Dodger Stadium. The producer of today's game, Jeff Gowan, and the director, Ray Tipton. The associate director, Eric Billigmeyer, and the associate producer, Andy Kavanaugh. Our technical producer, Craig Marlowe, and the technical director, Dan Berger. The pregame show was produced by Don Bowie. Thanks to you all, as Loney, with 1 hit and 3 trips, steps up. Dodgers have 4 singles today. That's what their offense has been. Trailing by 5 runs. There goes Gwynn, and a fly ball to right field, and playing it on a hop is Abreu, and stopping at second base is Gwynn. He got the jump, but holds at second on the fly ball to medium right field. So there are 2 on and 1 out.
James Loney just dunking one in. Bobby Abreu playing very deep in right field. I could see that if the ball game was a 1 or 2 run ball game where you're playing no doubles.
And Aaron Miles, who has 2 of the 5 Dodgers singles, and Mike Butcher quickly going out to the mound to talk to Trevor Bell. Scott Downs did well in his 1 inning in relief of Tyler Chatwood, and now Bell, who has walked Gwynn and given up a single to Loney. Jordan Walden throwing in the bullpen, and you could say, the Angels would be a lot worse off if they didn't have Jordan Walden and his 17 saves with Fernando Rodney on the disabled list, and it won't be long before he gets back into action.
Yeah, Rodney, he was eligible to come off the disabled list the other day, but still not ready, probably a week or so away. But Walden, he's been great for the Angels this year.
You saw Gwynn at second, Loney with the lead at first, 1 out, and a strike to Aaron Miles. 6-1, the Angels lead the Dodgers, who have 2 runners on base here in the bottom of the 9th. 1-1. Now a ball and 2 strikes to Miles. Trent Olchen on deck for the Dodgers. Don Mattingly's club, having lost 2 in a row. And again, struggling in interleague play. Fouled out of play. The Dodgers right now 3-4 in interleague play this season. They haven't had a winning record against the American League since 2004.
It's just one of those things. No real reason to explain it. They just had the Detroit Tigers in town. They took 2 out of 3.
Stepping off the rubber, getting back to second base is Gwynn. Dodgers, in fact, had won 3 in a row.
Well, they've won 3 in a row a couple times
right.
this year. They just can't get past the 3 in a row.
Check swing and strike 3. And the tag is put on, although there was a runner at first base. And so Aaron Miles goes down for the second out.
Aaron Miles unable to check his swing. Conger doing a nice job behind the plate blocking the ball.
So 2 down to Trent Olchen, who has struck out, walked, and flied out. Last hope for the Dodgers. Jared Weaver and Clayton Kershaw. Weaver at 9-4, Kershaw at 7-3 in the series finale tomorrow. And the Dodgers travel to Minnesota, and the Angels go down the freeway to entertain the Washington Nationals. And then both of these teams will clash next weekend in Anaheim. Fastball, strike 1 to Olchen. Pitcher spot is next for the Dodgers, and Marcus Thames is on deck if Olchen can keep it alive. 2 on, 2 out, 0-1 the count, and the foul out of play. And now the Dodgers down to their last strike. Trevor Bell to Trent Olchen.
As you mentioned, if the Angels can get out of this one, they move to 500. You know, and that's what Don Mattingly had hoped that his Dodger ball club could get to before the All-Star break. You know, Don Mattingly, positive as heck, still thinks they have a chance.
And a ball 2-2. Well, you look at the Minnesota Twins and their situation, and look what they've done.
You're exactly right. We saw the Twins earlier, and we saw them in April, and they looked like they were done come the first part of May. But Ron Gardner has kept those guys believing, and you can make a case for them winning the thing now.
Here is the 2-2 pitch. Outside ball 3-2. And the other thing is, whoever thought or predicted that on June the 25th, the Pittsburgh Pirates would be 3 games out of first place?
Not me. Not me. Got to hand it, though. That Central Division wide open.
3 balls and 2 strikes, and the runners will be off with 2 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Dodgers trailing by 5 runs. And a ground ball hit to the right side. Howie Kendrick makes the play, and the ball game is over. And the Angels have defeated the Dodgers again. They make it 2 in a row in this series, and they have won 5 straight and 7 of their last 8 here at Dodger Stadium. And the final score: the Angels 6 5, that is, and the Dodgers won. And we'll wrap things up from Los Angeles right after these messages from your local